Broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond, you're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell. I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning. I want to thank everyone, of course, for joining into the show. Yes, of course, it's the Thanksgiving holiday season, and as things are going, what is going on here? You guys shut that off. Shut that off. There we go. Why is it still going on? There we go. Okay, fine. You guys have a little bit of problem back there behind the glass. Don't even sit there and try to say that you're still in a food coma. So. But yeah, hey, slobbering buffoons, you can go ahead and put your Christmas decorations up now, says Roundhead on the chat. At Sam Newsman on Instagram, at Sam Newsman. We're here live on YouTube as well. Of course, we do have one of our favorite people here now on the phone right now. TNT Nate, you're there.
Hello, Sam.
Good morning. How are you doing? Did you have a wonderful Thanksgiving?
Had a blast. Doing absolutely nothing, enjoying my crops. Hanging out in the woods here in Kentucky at an undisclosed secret location. Watched some good old Christmas movies, Sam. Couldn't have been a better Thanksgiving for me. Ate all the good food. I heard you talking about the sides earlier. It was wonderful. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving as well.
I did. I love Thanksgiving, and one of my favorite times of year just because we can eat so much. Now, I was talking about side dishes. What is your favorite side dish? I believe, you're a fan of the green bean casserole as well, aren't you?
Green bean casserole is number 2, Sam. It's always been number 2 on the list. It's wonderful.
So what is number
favorite food of all time, Sam? Mashed potatoes and gravy.
Mashed potatoes are great. Now, do you make your own gravy or just buy it in a can?
Make my own gravy, Sam. I use vegetable broth instead of bone or chicken broth. And it's just as delicious. Little Italian seasoning, salt and pepper. Whip that up with a little flour. There you go. People, that's how you make gravy. And you just put that on the mashed potato, Sam, and you can't beat.
And one of the things that you've been doing lately too is, well, you've been making your own bread. So you've become a baker. So TNT Bake. So I'm sorry, TNT Nate. Well, that's another TNT Bake. How about that? So TNT Bake. You've been
making my own bread, Sam. I've been trying to do things so that I can provide for myself. That's kind of the whole point about living out here. And it teaches you things while you're learning, like the garden I mentioned. Gosh, we need more people having their own gardens, supporting local farmers, even making your own bread, doing whatever you can to stay away from some of that stuff on the shelves, Sam.
There's a lot of stuff that goes on the shelves and a lot of processed food all over the place, which is one of those things that I wanted to talk to you about this morning, because usually you come in hot and come in with all of just the information and the data, some things that people may not have heard about, even like the conspiracies, if you will. But I don't think that these food issues are really that much of a conspiracy. There's companies like Nestle that continue to buy up all of the water and corporatize water and a couple of other things. And I think that you might have some information for us in terms of this food. Do you not?
I know a lot about a lot, Sam. So why I try to stay away from as much as I can on those shelves is because, I don't know, this company doesn't exist per se anymore, Sam, but I know do you know about the company Monsanto?
I am familiar with Monsanto. I remember a couple of years back they were doing, I believe they were trademarking different seeds. And of course they were setting up seeds and making sure that they cornered the entire market. But I believe that Monsanto, even though they're not around anymore, didn't they just change their name, if I'm not mistaken, or something happened? What do you know the history or anything behind that?
They used to be. You're partly correct there, Sam. They turned into a seed-owning company, and what they would do is somehow their genetically marked seeds would end up in farms. From here to Canada, there's lawsuits currently happening in both here and Canada, but all across the world, Sam. And these farmers would be like, they would have agents go knock on these people's doors, and they would say, "Hi, how are you? Do you know this?" And they pull up their crop. "Do you know that this is ours now?" People would be like, "What are you talking about?" "Oh, well, our genetic signature was found in your crop, so now you owe us." Sounds like extortion to me. "Now you owe us any proceeds or money that you get from selling this said crop." And then people would be like, "You're out of your mind. I've had these seeds. I saved my seeds. Oh, and by the way, there's legislation in effect that now you can't own your own seeds. Did you know that?" And people would say, "Well, no." "Oh, okay, well, here's a cease and desist order, and the rest is history." Monsanto used to be, and still is, the producer of Roundup.
You talk about the
Roundup.
yeah,
The
weed killer, right.
In everyone's food.
Right.
They also were very infamously known for making aspartame. It's in your Pepsi products. It by itself is a neurotoxin. Sam, this company is something else. Well, everything that you see in supermarkets, if it's not literally marked, and you know what, you can't even trust most organic stuff now these days, but that's why I try to grow my own stuff, Sam, because these people have their claws and their poison paws, and it seems like every food, Sam, and they did. What happened with Monsanto is they were bought out by Bayer, you know, the aspirin company?
Yeah, Bayer. Yeah, I'm familiar. You know what? DFS just mentioned that in the chat.
Yeah, they were bought out by Bayer, and, you know, thinking that aspirin helps cure headaches, and you're thinking about this as a medicinal company, right?
Right. Yeah.
You think that they would buy Monsanto and change things up. Well, that's not the case, Sam, because guess who's continuing to buy more shares and controlling shares in Bayer, Sam? They now own 7.2%, which doesn't seem like a lot, but BlackRock's got their paws in this, and I know we've mentioned that on the show before. The company owns the world, Sam. Anyway, they said, "You know what, Monsanto, we're going to buy you for," I think it was $68 billion.
Jeez.
But we're going to change the name because you have a bunch of lawsuits. And we're just going to keep allowing you to keep doing what you're doing. Keep shutting small farms down by owning their seeds. Keep creating more weed killers under the Roundup name. Keep poisoning the food. And we will just buy your business and drop the name. So I guess they were hoping that this would all go away. But it doesn't. And people like me and people like your listeners, Sam, who I know are interested in more than just what they see. As long as you keep reading, folks, you'll keep following these guys. They just show up out of nowhere. They seem to be everywhere. So I'm thankful for people who support local farmers. I'm thankful, Sam, for the ability to grow my own crop, make my own bread. I'm thankful that I have a way that I can circumvent this whole buying process, Sam, and I can still have a healthy meal to eat on Thanksgiving Day.
Well, you know, like I said, there's a very astute observation. Of course, some very good information here too, brought to us by TNT Nate. And of course, I'm sure that you're also aware that the Giants and Cowboys game was the largest watched game, had the biggest audience in the history of Thanksgiving football television. Did you know that?
Well, it's the Cowboys, Sam. What else do you expect? It's America's team.
Oh my goodness, here we go again, and they won, of course, right?
But before we go, listeners, keep in mind that this company, Bayer, is now, because this all goes back to the future. It all goes back to the future collector, what the poor guy's probably having to eat. Keep in mind that they are using CRISPR technology, CRISPR technology. That's gene editing technology in the food. That is the conspiracy theory of the day, folks. Look that up. That's what I'm most concerned about. Is they do this and they try to make it seem wonderful. They partnered with a company called Pairwise. Pairwise is that they want you to crave this edited food. And just remember that what seems good on the outside are still the same people creating the poisons on the inside of that food. So remember, CRISPR and the company Pairwise partnered with Bayer, who now own Monsanto, and I guess make so much money off of you, me, and everyone else every time that we unexpectedly go to the grocery store. So again, if you can, plant your own crops, support your own farmers, eat as healthy as possible, and don't give these guys your money. Okay? That's my message to you all. That's my message to you, Sam. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend, and go
Uh,
Cowboys.
ladies and gentlemen, that is TNT Nate. TNT Nate bringing in the information, the hot information, connecting the dots the only way that he knows how to. TNT Nate on Instagram, everyone. That's TNT Nate, making his own bread. Making his own bread. Making his own bread because that's good dough. More information about that coming soon. Guys, we will be back here in just a few moments at the top of the hour. Want to talk about a story that popped off the other day on Twitter. Very interesting story. Now is a conspiracy theory about a clothing company and their photography campaign. Don't want to give it away just yet, but we will talk about that at the top of next hour. Once again, I want to thank everyone, of course, for listening and watching in. We are broadcasting live on Instagram. We're also here over on YouTube as well. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Like I said, we'll be back at the top of next hour at Sam Newsman on Instagram, at Sam Newsman here over on YouTube, Sam Newsman on TikTok and Twitter. Also, Sam Newsman on, let's see here. Also, Sam Newsman. On Facebook. Also on Facebook. Got to eventually get the Facebook Live thing going. Got to get the Facebook Live thing happening. We'll do that eventually in the future as well. Here, once again, the only radio show dedicated to the magic of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real puppet. From the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday Morning.